Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our live YouTube event. This is testimony time, and I'm so excited because I've got some amazing women on here ready to share with y'all their testimonies and how Plexus has changed everything for them and for me. I'm just excited for y'all to hear all about it. So, this is called testimony time for a reason. So, I'm not going to get into a lot of detail tonight on how to sorry, I'm gonna mute Tara real quick. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to go in a lot of detail tonight on how to take products or on our products really, or ingredients or how the products work. More than likely you're watching this right now, or you're watching this back later because someone invited you to watch it. So whoever invited you to watch this is more than capable of answering your questions, figuring out what products are best for you. You've probably become a little bit familiar with our products because we are everywhere now. We're such a huge health and wellness company, and we have an amazing line of products. But because you probably have a little bit of history with it, I'm not going to go into all the details. I just want y'all to hear these stories tonight, because that is where the magic happens, is hearing how people have had their lives changed by these products and by this business opportunity. So we've got an amazing lineup again tonight. Before we get started, though, I do want to give you a couple of basics, because all of us on this call have been successful with the business. We have a Ruby ambassador on here tonight. That's really good income. And then Tara and I are both Emerald ambassadors, and Beth is a Diamond ambassador at the very top of the company. So that we're all Plexus ambassadors. We're passionate about the business. So I want to give you the basics of what that kind of looks like for us to sign up. It's $34.95 to get started with your own Plexus business. That is a very, very low startup to start your own business. And I can promise you that every single one of us on this call have not missed that $35. We have seen that $35 come back to us. We've seen that return on our investment 100 times over and over times that, probably. I mean, it's crazy what we've been able to experience just from $34.95. When you sign up with Plexus, there's no monthly quota. We do not have to keep inventory. There are no parties. Probably for most of us on this broadcast tonight, that's not how we grew our businesses. I'm speaking out of a guess here, but I'm pretty sure everyone on here did not grow their business through parties. We do most of our business is run through social media, which you're already on anyway. So I just want you to listen to these stories tonight with an open mind, knowing that this is a low risk, low startup, and truly ask yourself while you're listening to these testimonies if this could be the answer for you, if Plexus could possibly change everything for you like it has for us. So with that being said, we're going to get started, and we don't want to take up your whole evening. I'm sure there's great stuff on TV tonight. I wouldn't know, but there's probably something you're excited to go do. So we're going to get started with Beth Anderson. She's going to start us off tonight. She is in my upline. She's a Diamond ambassador at the very top of the company, and I can tell you she is just a sweet, encouraging person, and I know y'all are going to love hearing from her tonight. So go ahead, Beth.
Thank you, Ashley, so much. Thank you for asking me to be on, and thank you for your sweet words. You're so precious. So welcome, everyone. How fun. This is actually only my second Google Hangout, so this is kind of fun. But Plexus is amazing, and I would just like to share my story. When I started Plexus, I was the biggest skeptic ever. I said, no way. No way. No way to the products, no way to the business, period. I had no interest. But I started in March of 2013, so I'm about to have my 4-year anniversary, which is absolutely crazy. But I had watched several of my friends take the products for about 8 months, and I thought that they really were nuts. I didn't know why they were taking them to begin with, but what I did notice is they were getting healthy, and they were feeling better, and they had so much energy. My friends that I'm speaking of and myself are all mommas who are super busy with their kiddos, and they were loving it. And so, but I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. Well, one of my friends, her name is Celeste Flynn, she joined the business after taking the products for about 8 months. And she called me and she said, I want you to do this with me. And I had no desire. My mom had been in every network marketing company all kinds of different ones. She sold homewares. She sold chocolate. She sold like home, like cooking spices, like everything. And she would have to have all these parties all the time, right? And so I would have lots of parties for her because she had to have parties. And so she would come in with all this, dragging in all these dishes and all these decorations and all this stuff trying to sell. And by the time she got in the room, she was like drenched in sweat, and she probably made like $25. That was my vision of network marketing. And I thought, that is for the birds. She did craft shows all the time, and she loved it. She had so much fun doing it, but I thought it was nuts. So anyways, back up, Celeste calls and she says, I think you should join me. And I was like, no. But I was actually training for a half marathon at the time, and I had been gaining weight. It was my second half marathon. The first one I knew like I didn't gain weight. And so I'm running, miles and miles and miles every week, and I was getting chunky. And I was like, this is not working. I'd rather sit on the couch and not get chunky than run all these miles and get chunky, but I kept running. So my husband said, let's just give it a try. Let's just see what happens. Let's give it a try. And he's like cheap. And so when he says, let's try something, let's hop on that and try it, while he still says he wants to buy it, right? So we signed up just to get the discount. Didn't even have a clue. Bought the smallest welcome pack, which was enough for one person for 30 days. So for both of us, it lasted us about 15 days. And again, I was like, we're going to turn this off next month. We'll try it for a month, but whatever. And I started noticing that my sugar cravings went away. I used to drink soda all day long. I don't drink coffee, so soda was my caffeine. And I would drink it all day long to keep up with my schedule. And so pretty quickly I noticed that had gone away from me. The second thing I noticed, including sugar cravings, I didn't even want dessert. Easter came along a few weeks right after I had started. And my father-in-law knows I love chocolate pie. And so he made 2 chocolate pies for Easter, one for us to share on Easter and one for me to keep for myself the entire week and just eat on it. Y'all, I didn't have a bite. And I was like, okay, there's something to this. If I'm not eating a bite of this chocolate pie, there's something. But I had more energy. I did start to lose weight. My husband started losing weight. We felt good. As time went on, his cholesterol levels balanced out. And so that was huge for him. He had always had like way crazy cholesterol. But let's talk about how I started the business. At the time, I was working 2 to 3 part-time jobs, which actually was more than full-time. And my husband traveled all the time. And we have 2 boys who are super active. They're 14 and 10 for one more week. He'll be 11 next week. And so at the time, that was almost 4 years ago, so subtract that, but super busy in sports and all that. And I had 0 time for this, 0. And I didn't want to do this. But I started telling people that I knew that were close to me what I was doing. And for instance, my brother came over and I was like, oh, I'm starting this new pink drink. What is it? And he's like, and I truly didn't know. We had these little welcome pack things, and I threw it at him and I was like, I don't know, this is what it is. And so they're like, oh, if you're doing it, I'll do it. We'll try it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so Celeste called and she said, you need to post on Facebook. I said, no way, no way, no way. I am not going to post on Facebook. No way. But God had a big plan for me, and he knew that this was my plan. And so I say that he was like doing the typing for me, and I started sharing on Facebook. And as that happened and people started asking me, people started taking the products, I realized I've always been so against network marketing, but I've always been a network marketer. I've always told my friends what I liked, right? When I found a new restaurant, or when I found a new place to shop, or a new place to get my nails done, I shared that with my friends. And so that's what network marketing is. It's just sharing something that you love with your friends. And at the time when I first started sharing, I didn't even know I loved it. I just was telling them in life what I was doing. And so they were like, well, we'll try that. That sounds interesting. And so as that went on, my business definitely started growing. My friends started taking the products and loving them and sharing with their friends, and we started growing. So I started in March. In November of that year, I turned Emerald, which is super exciting in Plexus world, because that is when you earn your Lexus and your trip to Hawaii. I had never been to Hawaii before. And I remember going to get that Lexus and thinking, stressing, oh my gosh, like this is crazy, whatever, whirlwind, I'm still working. And I tell you what, That was November. By January, I'd hit sapphire, and by February, I was diamond. So in 11 months, I went to the top. And I'm telling you that because not to say, oh my gosh, look at me, because I am a shy person. I did not want this business. Huge skeptic. I mean, guys, like huge. Like I thought my friends were nuts. Huge skeptic. But I shared something that I liked. That's all I did. I was still working. I was committed to working my business as much as I could. Every once in a while, I would throughout the day, I would do it in the mornings or in my lunch break, or sometimes I would even respond to messages at red lights, which is not safe, but that's what I had to do. I would do it at baseball fields. However I needed to do it, I was working Plexus. And that didn't mean it was like 5 hours a day. Truthfully, if you added up the 5 minutes, it probably equaled an hour a day. But I just wanted to share with my friends. I've seen so many people in the past 4 years, their lives have been truly, truly changed. Whether that means their health. I have friends that were so bad sick that really they couldn't even get out of bed. Honestly, they could not get out of bed. I hear this all the time. They, so many different health things. They just didn't feel good. They had certain, symptoms, different things. And to see, I travel all over the place now because I like to travel. And so I meet all these people, and to hear their stories, there's not many meetings I leave without tears in my eyes because of the lives being changed, because of their health. And financially, I know single mamas who were struggling, and now they're able to stay home with their babies because of this financial blessing. This financial opportunity is huge, and it's real. And so, that drives me. That makes me so excited. I want to share people. I want people to see what Plexus can do for them in so many different ways. So as my story goes on, I kept sharing. I never thought that I was a leader. I've always said I'm just a good friend. I've said that for a long time. There's nothing, I'm not like the smartest person ever. I'm not whatever. I just shared with my friends. I love my friends. And so we kept sharing, we kept growing. I kind of learned how to lead people in a team and help them grow their team and help them get excited. And my husband turned emerald about a year ago, this time last year. So we're actually diamond, emerald, and then I rejoined, and so we're gold. So we actually have 3 ambassadorships under this one household. And the cool thing is that now I am a full-time mama again. That's what I always wanted to be my whole life, was a full-time mama. And God granted me that desire of my heart when I had my first baby. I got to be a mama. And my husband was in the mortgage industry, and a few years back, it crashed. And so our whole life was turned upside down, right? But I still figured it out. I figured out how to have all these part-time jobs so I could still pick my kids up from school in the afternoons and take them. And I'm so thankful for all of that. So thankful, because God had a plan in every bit of it. But now Plexus has brought me home. Plexus has also helped my husband. He's not traveling all the time, y'all. He's at home with us more. He's doing his own business. He's not working for anybody else right now. He's doing his own business. He's getting time to, he's always wanted to be like a football coach for a high school. And our kids go to a little private Christian school. And so he gets to be a football coach for a high school. He could never do that if he was still traveling all the time, right? And so we're getting to spend every moment with our kids. Like I said, they're almost 11 and 14. I was telling my husband last night, I was like, we have 4 years left with our oldest. That is awful, because I'm only 25, so I have no idea how that happens. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not 25, if y'all are wondering. But it's crazy. And so instead of us being stressed all the time and him gone and me trying to, do all these things to make ends meet, we're now able to put our family first. I'm so incredibly thankful. God absolutely gets all the glory, because it is not me. Because I'm telling you, people look at me and they say, well, you can speak in front of people. Oh no, if they told me I was going to speak in front of anybody, even doing this 4 years ago, I'd have been like, you just keep that little pink drink, because I will never do that. So it's just amazing what this company is. We have amazing executives who love people, who want what's best for their ambassadors. They will do, they go above and beyond. When you join Plexus, you truly do join a family. We're one Plexus. I know that there's different teams on this one call, just helping each other out, you become a family. I've met people from all over the country that I would have never met before, that now I call my dearest friends. My family has called their families their dearest friends. And so it's just an amazing, amazing opportunity. So anyways, if you're thinking about it, don't be a skeptic anymore. It's okay to be a little bit nervous, I promise. There's times I'm still like, oh, I don't know about getting on that call. That makes me nervous. But you can do it. Plexus is awesome. You'll have all the support you can get. Take the products. I promise everybody, the products can change your life in some way. Everybody in this world needs to be on Plexus products. My whole family's on them, and it's great.
Thank you so much. I love
You're welcome.
that. I have heard your story before, but I always love to hear again, like you get more little tidbits out of it the more you hear someone's story. So anyway, thank you so much. And you do look like 25. So
well, I turned 40 last October, so I like to say 25 because it sounds much better than 40, right? So, and I really can't believe I'm 40, but it's all good. Thanks, Ashley, for having me.
Thank you, Beth. All right, up next we have Tara Berger. Tara is the cutest person I think ever. She's so sweet to do this and to come on here and share her story. She's a mama and a wife and able to just fit all this success into her life. So I'm excited for y'all to hear from her. I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to turn it over to you now. Can you unmute, or do you need me to do it? You're still muted. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Nope, you're going to have to unmute yourself. Do you see a button to unmute? It won't let me unmute you. It should be, if you tap your screen, there should be a button at the bottom that pops up that you can hit unmute. Let's see. We can go ahead and have Tiffany go, and then we can come back to you if you want. If you want to try that, you might want to leave and then come back in and see if it'll give you that option. So, okay, moving on. Tiffany is one of my closest friends. She is on my team, and honestly, like, that is the hugest blessing ever to have Tiffany on my team, because she
Did I just accidentally unmute myself?
Uh-oh. Are you there?
Did I just accidentally unmute myself?
Yeah, but I can't see you anymore.
Okay. Anybody can do this, right, guys? Can you see me now?
No.
Then I'm going to leave and come back, and I'll go next.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So Tiffany is on my team. She's a Ruby ambassador. She's got 2 beautiful baby girls, and again, one of my closest friends. And I just have to say, I will talk later, but one of the greatest things about Plexus is how it has brought people into my life that would not be in my life without Plexus. Tiffany and I knew each other kind of before Plexus, but not really, and we probably never would have become close or friends like we are now. So anyway, all that to say, I'm just thankful for her and cannot wait for you to hear her story, and I will try not to cry during it because it is just awesome. So go ahead, Tiffany.
Thank you, Ashley. So yes, I'm Tiffany. I am a Ruby ambassador, and I'm also a mom of 2 precious little girls. I'm a wife. I'm an RN, and I have a really cool Plexus story in my own opinion. So I started taking Plexus products in September of 2015, and I definitely was the biggest skeptic ever. I had watched Ashley post about Plexus for about 7 months, and I thought, this girl is crazy. What has she gotten herself into? I didn't really know Ashley, so I wasn't the type that I could reach out and be like, girl, what are you doing? Like, I just couldn't do that. So I watched her, and she posted a few different testimonials, and one finally got me one day, and I called her, and I was like, okay, I need to try this. Tell me about this. What is this? And so we got to know each other a little bit and hung out on the phone that day, and I was sold that first day because Ashley told me how much money she was making. I said, listen, I'm curious about the products. I'm, interested because I have headaches and migraines and I would love to know about the products, but if the business could work for me, this would change my life. And so that day when we talked, I felt like that God had really given this to me and that this was something I should shoot for. So in September of 2015, I started taking the products. And I was about 30 weeks pregnant with my second daughter at the time. So I started taking our triplex combo, and I thought, goodness, if I could just have a little bit more energy at the end of this pregnancy, I would be so much better off here. I was a lot less healthy my second pregnancy. I'd worked out a little less. I'd chased the toddler a little bit more, but I just didn't have time to put myself first like I did my first go around. So the first few days in, my heartburn that I had my second pregnancy was absolutely gone, and I was shocked. So I had not told anybody that I was taking the products except Ashley, because I was like, I don't want anybody thinking that I'm this crazy Plexus lady for sure. So I told no one, maybe my mom, but other than her, no one. So the first few days the heartburn was gone. A few more days, I felt like I was sleeping better, but I was like, surely not. This is stupid. Like, this is not, there's no way this is Plexus. And then a few more days, I was not needing to take a nap at 3 p.m. So I was like, okay, there's probably something to this, but I'm just going to ride this out for a little bit. So another thing about me is that I've had migraines my entire life since I was about 7 years old. I can remember laying in the bathroom floor, very, very sick. As an adult, I've been to the ER, all kinds of things. Nothing physically was wrong with me. No one could ever find the underlying cause of my migraines, but they were debilitating. I mean, they took hours and hours from my family and from my friends. I would have to get in bed because I was light sensitive, sound sensitive, and I was very, very sick. So I would probably have 2 to 3, maybe 4 migraines a month before I started Plexus. And so I thought, you know what, if it could do anything for that, like that would be amazing for me, because sometimes I would come home, and it would take 8, 10, 12 hours for me to recover from that. So I did have a couple detox headaches when I first started, which everyone goes through a little bit of detox. It's all about getting your body clean. So, but I never had a migraine again. I still have not had a migraine. It'll be 2 years in September. I have not had a migraine. So if nothing else, if everything else fell apart with this business and the company and everything else, I would be getting my Plexus. So I can keep that away and I can feel my best for my kids and my family. So that alone was enough for me. So I was sold. So I was about 30 weeks pregnant when I got started. So in October of 2015, I had my second daughter. And at the same time as all of this was going on, I was working full-time still as a nurse. I had been able to work at home with an insurance company, but I still had to have childcare full-time. I was working 40 hours a week. And once I had my first daughter, I really, really, really wanted to be home. I just felt like that was a God-given desire to be home with my kids, be the one that sees them say their first words and take their first steps and kiss their boo-boos, or when they're sick, not having to leave them with someone else who just doesn't get them the way that I do. And so as I got pregnant with my second daughter, almost immediately the anxiety began of, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to leave a second child with someone that, I loved everyone that took care of our kids, but I didn't want to have to leave them with someone else. So that was an underlying issue with all of everything else that was going on. So in November of 2015, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start posting about this on Facebook, just see what happens and just give this to God, because I truly felt like Plexus was God-given. To think about something for 7 months and it just not go away, and I had been praying about it, I was like, okay, like I'm just going to do this. So I called Ashley and told her I was going to actually do something. And November of 2015, I started posting, and God just completely met us where we were, and my business exploded. I finally started telling people, of course, and my mom and my sister jumped on board with us, and it just completely, skyrocketed. So in December of that year, I hit my first promotion, January my next, March my next, and in February of that year, my maternity leave was up, and we had a big decision to make. So I went back to work for 2 days because we felt like that was the right thing to do. But I was also one promotion in Plexus away from being able to make enough money of what we needed. It would have been about part-time nursing income, and that's what we needed for me to be able to stay home. So we decided that we were going to take a huge leap of faith, and I was just going to quit my job. So I went to work for 2 days, and I was an emotional train wreck, and my boss called me, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this. I'm going to be done. I believe in what I'm doing elsewhere, and I'm just going to be done. And she's like, okay, I think you're crazy, but whatever. So that's what I did, and God completely has exploded my business even more. So I'm a year later this month. It's been an extremely emotional month for me because a year ago I was, in my first few days of being able to be home with my kids. So now I am kissing boo-boos all day long. I'm going to music classes. I'm, taking my kids to work out with me at the gym, and I've never felt better. I have endless amounts of energy because I love my pink drink, of course, and it really has changed our life. And if I could do it all again, the only thing I would do different is to start sooner. So, if I'm emotional, of course, but if there's something that you're thinking about doing, I feel like if it doesn't go away and you keep thinking about it, you keep praying about it, I really do feel like God has something big for you, and it could be Plexus. And I really feel like it was for me, and I mean, we'll never be the same. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. I cannot even. That is why I do what I do. I'm telling y'all, the most rewarding thing in my life has been like Tiffany. I remember calling me that day when she quit her job and she was going to get to stay home with their kids. And I think we both just like cried on the phone. And it's just that right there is life changing. Like that is, she'll never be the same. Her kids will never be the same. And that's why we do what we do. So thank you again, Tiffany, for joining me in my crazy Plexus journey. And now I am going to turn it over to you, Tara. Do you think that it's going to work for you?
Did I get it?
Yay! Okay, perfect.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see.
You can see me, you can hear me, right?
Perfect. Go for it.
Okay, so everybody watching, this just goes to show that like we're just regular people, just doing something that we love and that we're passionate about. And honestly, anybody can do this. So that just proves it right there, right, guys? Like the first person that was speaking, this is my second Google Hangout. Is that what we're even on? So, okay. I just got done with one of my son's wrestling meets, and then I had to go clear across town to another son's baseball practice, rush home to get on this call, and I've got chicken scratches that I did in the car on the way here. So bear with me. But everything that both of them just said is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to not, try to repeat things. But what I want to get across is kind of like what Ashley started this off by saying, you know what? Whoever invited you to this call, they can tell you the nitty gritty on the details and the products, okay? But facts tell, but stories sell. And that's why we want you guys to hear our stories. We're real life people, like right here in the flesh. And we have real life stories, life-changing stories, and we're so passionate about it. And I think that's why we do so well in this business, is because we're passionate, because it's something that's changed our lives. And how can you not share that? So what I tell the skeptics, because in the beginning I was a skeptic, when it came to network marketing, I thought, yeah, right. Like I was kind of what they call a network marketing snob. I didn't want to have parties. I didn't want to feel pressured. I didn't get it. So I was in no way, shape, or form interested in doing an MLM or ever trying to sell anything to my friends. What I didn't realize was I was network marketing every day. I'm a hairstylist, and I was sharing stuff that I'd see at the mall, or a new movie that was out that was great. So I was sharing that stuff, and people would take that advice and go get it, but I didn't get paid to tell them about that. But with Plexus, you actually get paid to share something you're passionate about, so that's pretty cool. The skeptics that say they don't believe in Plexus, it's like, really, you don't believe in plants? Because that's what Plexus is. We're plants, you guys. Like, we're omegas, probiotics, a breast check kit, you know what I'm saying, like a vitamin. We're plants. And it's just funny because so many people will go drink Red Bull, energy drinks, Diet Coke, you know what I'm saying, junk food. Go research that, because why are you eating and drinking that? Plexus is in the purest form, most natural products on the market. So I wanted to address that. And another great thing about Plexus, what I've come to realize, is what I think sets our company apart from the rest, because there's other awesome network marketing companies out there, and I support a lot of them now because I get it. But what's so cool about Plexus is, you guys, our products target the masses, okay? So we've got skincare stuff out there. We've got purses and jewelry, but men don't want that. Kids don't need that. And it's not really something that you need. right? Where Plexus is something that everybody's body needs. Young, old, fit people, overweight people, great grannies, nursing and pregnant moms. Like truly, everybody on this planet needs what we have. And that's why Plexus has over a 16,000% growth rate, is because we have products that everybody needs. They just don't always know it yet. So that's why we're on this call telling you why you need it. So that's what I feel like sets Plexus apart. Also, what I love about Plexus is so many times I feel like doctors will put Band-Aids on bullet holes. I don't know if any of you are on prescriptions, but I was. I'm going to tell you that story here in a minute. I'm going to keep it short, but I feel like so many times people put Band-Aids on bullet holes and it's like, oh, here, take this. Oh, here, try this medicine. And now you need this one. Oh, side effect, take this one. And it's just like that vicious cycle. They're not addressing the root issue. They're not putting out the fire. They're just kind of managing the smoke. So with Plexus, our products are designed to go in. Am I yelling? I feel like I'm like super intense. Am I good? Okay. With Plexus, it actually goes in and it addresses those root issues, guys. That's blood sugar, gut health, and decreasing inflammation in the body. When those three things are addressed, your body, you are going to feel amazing, like you should. Just so many of us forget how amazing we're supposed to feel. And I like to compare Plexus to premium gasoline. So many of us are running on fumes. We're running on empty because we're filling ourselves with chemicals, sugar, fast food, Coke, right? We're not filling ourselves with premium gasoline, which is what Plexus is. And when we put Plexus in our body, we're getting those nutrients and minerals and vitamins and the stuff that our body is craving. And when we put that premium gasoline in our body, just like when you put premium gasoline in a car, guess what? You're going to run optimally. You're going to feel amazing. It's true. I mean, doesn't that make sense? So, okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and go with my story. I've been doing Plexus for 2 years. It's 2 years in December. And when I first started Plexus, 2 years prior to starting Plexus, I was going through a really dark time. So I'm super happy, a super blessed girl. Got married when I was 19 to my husband. We've been married 13 years, but we got married young. He's a police officer. I'm a part-time hairstylist. I have a 12-year-old and I have a 8-year-old boys. And just super blessed. But 2 years prior to Plexus, when I turned 28, I started kind of turning into a different person. As you guys can tell, my personality, I've got a big personality. When I walk in a room, people know I'm in there. You know, I'm fun. I'm easygoing, laid back. But 2 years prior to Plexus, I started to notice changes in myself. Now I know it's because I wasn't taking care of my body. And you can't pour from an empty cup. And that's what I was doing. But you guys, I was experiencing, can I say these words? I was experiencing migraines, anxiety, depression, very, very badly. I was drinking 2 Red Bulls every single day, the biggest ones that they come, 2 of those a day. I was kind of hiding behind a mask. I'm a hairstylist, so I have to try to make people feel good about themselves when inside I was struggling myself. And it got to the point where I would like get these moods that would kind of come over me and I couldn't snap out of the mood. And that's when I knew this is a problem. This is a problem. And I'll never forget the night I pulled into my parents' driveway and I felt that mood come over me. And I just prayed to God, please help me get out of this mood. What is wrong with me? I need your help. Help me get out of this mood. So the next day I went to the doctor and I said, I need help. Something is wrong with me. I know I'm not me. I told her everything I just told you guys. And she was like, well, you have, it sounds like depression, anxiety, mood disorder, ADHD. And she gave me like 4 medications. And I was like, if that's what I need, okay. You know, I hadn't heard of probiotics and pink drinks back then. So I started taking all that stuff. I gained almost 40 pounds. It helped a little bit, you know. I would try to wean off the medicines though, because I hated being on it and being dependent on it. Then I'd go right back to where I was. So long story short, financially, being married so young, we racked up a lot of credit card debt and our money situation was tight. We had put a lot of stuff on our credit cards. I worked part-time. Thankfully, Matt, you know, let me stay home with the boys part-time. And so that was amazing. But we were being swallowed alive by our credit card debt because we could only pay the minimum. And it was really, really hard and starting to take a toll on our marriage, right? That's like the #1 cause of divorce is money. It was very, very serious. I mean, we loved each other, but you guys get what I'm saying. We were fighting a lot over money. And so I told my best friend 2 weeks prior to me hearing about Plexus, I cried to her on her sister's bed and I said, Megan, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to pick up more hours, get a second job, something. I don't know how we're going to get ahead, but we've got to do something because this is stressing Matt out. Therefore, it's stressing me out. So anyway, 2 weeks later, Megan read about Plexus on Facebook and how it could help with a couple of different things that she was struggling with. As her best friend, she came straight to me and said, Tara, we do everything together. You need to do this with me. And I was like, absolutely not. Some pink drink I've never heard of, because we hadn't heard of it here in Indiana. Some pink drink I've never heard of. I don't think so. No, thank you. I'm going to stick with all these medicines that I'm on, and forgot to mention that I couldn't sleep. I would toss and turn till 2 or 3 every single night. But then the next day, after I took the kids to bed, I would get to school, I would get back in bed and I would seriously sleep till like 3 or 4. No, 1 or 2 the next day. And you guys, that's so embarrassing. I would have never told anybody that pre-Plexus, but that's how sick I was. It was a vicious cycle. I was tired. I was exhausted. So anyway, Megan said, you need to do this with me. I pushed back. I said, no, I don't think so. Plus Matt would never go for it. We don't have the money for it. But finally, she stayed on me and I said, okay, let's just try to talk to Matt. So we talked to Matt. I talked to Matt. Matt said, nope, we don't have the money for it. I was like, oh, I knew it. So then Megan and I tag teamed him. We were just like, really, Matt, like, what do I have to lose? It's a 60-day money back guarantee. And if you break it down, the products I needed were less than $4 a day. I was spending over $10 on Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? So finally he gave in. He said, you can do it for 1 month, do it for 1 month, and then you're canceling, but I'm not happy about it. Okay. So I was like, yes. Okay. I was very hopeful. at this point. I had read a lot of testimonies and done some research. And so what I did was I just started telling all of my friends before my products ever even came in, hey guys, because people don't need to know the nitty gritty details. They just need to know what it can do for them and the hope that it brings. So I started telling all my friends, my closest circle, you guys, there's this pink drink. It tastes really good. I've had samples. It's supposed to help. It's natural. It's supposed to help with energy and sleep and anxiety and all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. Will you guys try this with me? Please, I want you to do it with me. So many people say, okay, yeah, I'll do it with you. I had other people that said, I'll watch you, make sure you don't grow a tail, and then I might join you later down the road, But you guys, in my first month, my first 3 weeks, I had 37 people join me as level 1s. They joined my team. My first paycheck was, so I fast track gold. My first paycheck was over $1,500. And Matt was like, but he was still skeptical, saying this is too good to be true. Well, I'll tell you what, that first month, I hadn't had a Red Bull that entire month. I was falling asleep without even trying. I was waking up refreshed. I would go get my nails done before they even opened up. One morning I was in the parking lot at 8:45 and they opened up at 9. That's a big deal, right? I was feeling great quickly, early on. That doesn't happen for everybody, but for me it did. So then I went to Facebook and I was like, oh my gosh, this pink drink stuff. I'm telling you guys, you got to try it. It's great. And I just started posting and telling everybody the hope that I had within what I thought it could do for them. And fast forward 18 weeks in, I went Senior Ruby. And when you go Senior Ruby, that's more than I was making doing hair. And I matched my husband's police income. I was making as much as he was making. And that was in 18 weeks. And I just have a beauty school degree, license, whatever. So he was like, okay, I'm on board. And by then he had been taking the products too, because he saw the changes in me. So now he joined. He's a senior gold ambassador. I'm now emerald. I went emerald in, I think it was 13 months. And you guys, not only am I off all of my medications, not only have I not had a Red Bull in over 2 years, I've lost the weight. I feel great. I feel like me again. Not only has it changed my family, my friends' health, but the financial blessing. I mean, more people go to bed at night worried about how they're going to pay that next bill or how they're going to get their kids to, play the sports or, send their kids off to college. I think more people worry about the financial side of things than how they're going to get off, that extra 10 pounds. That was me. And so it's just been such a blessing. And when you hit emerald like we are and so on, you make 6 figures. So here I am. I got my 1099 back and little old me, you know, 6 figures. What? I got to turn in my Trailblazer that had like 250,000 miles on it and a cracked windshield. Hey, it was paid off. I wasn't complaining. I'm not materialistic, but I got to trade it in for a brand new sporty Lexus that's paid for, red interior. Hello. And I'm about to go on my 3rd trip to Hawaii, and I get to take a guest, so I'm taking Matt. So it has been the biggest blessing, and I know it was heaven sent. I know God had a plan for my life. He dropped it in my lap exactly when I needed it the most. And all you have to do is say, what if? What if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, what if these products could change everything? Because for me, my what if is now my what is. And same with hundreds and hundreds on my team. It's so much fun. 60-day money back guarantee, less than $4 a day. And, you know, doctors are writing prescriptions for it now. Like, it's going to be a household name. So I suggest you jump on now and start seeing what we're seeing and share with your friends and family before someone else does. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Tara. You're so much fun. I just wish we could like go get our nails done together or something.
Me too.
That would be so fun. Anyway, I love your story. I actually had not ever heard your story in that much detail. So I really appreciate you sharing with us. And anyway, I'm going to share my story now. And I will try to be brief. And I don't have any notes. I guess I should probably have thought through what I wanted to say exactly, but it is my story, so I should be able to relay it exactly as it happened. But so I got started with Plexus 2 years ago next month. So I can't even believe it's been 2 whole years. It has gone by really fast. But I can honestly tell you that it has been for sure, the best 2 years of my life. I have felt incredible because of the products. I have found fulfillment and purpose and just a calling on my life that it's not Plexus is not what I was called to do. I was called to help people and share hope with people. And so in whatever way that is, Plexus is my ministry. It is just so a part of me. And I can just tell you that the last 2 years have been the best ever. So a little about me. My name is Ashley Potter. I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. I've been married for almost 5 years to a pastor. So he does not make a lot of money, but we are for sure just we're in the right place at the right time, but we have never made a lot of money from his job. God has always taken care of us, but it has been tight since the day we said I do. We are still babies and we are raising babies. So we've got 2 kids right now. Titus is 3 on Sunday. Vera is 18 months old next month. And we have Isla Joy coming hopefully in April. So we have got our hands full, and somehow the last 2 years we have built a 6-figure business like Tara mentioned. So I'm going to tell you how I got to this point and how Plexus came into my life. So like I said, we have Titus, who is our oldest. So 2 years ago, he was just over a year old, and we had found out that we were pregnant with Vera. And we wanted more children, but we certainly were not financially ready for another child when we found out about her. So honestly, at that time, before I even found out I was pregnant, I was already doing a lot of things to bring in a little bit of extra money so that I could stay home with my son. So I had a photography business. I had an Etsy shop. I had kids in my house every single day that I babysat before and after school. And I had my own baby, and now I was pregnant with another. So I felt, yes, I was a stay-at-home mom, but I felt like we were still so stressed, and I was working so hard at all my little things and doing so much to just bring in a little bit of extra. So I know y'all are probably familiar with what that feels like. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're watching this, you're like, yeah, I will do anything I can to just help a little bit, clip coupons, whatever it is. There's things that moms will do to try to help lessen the load on your husband, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom. And if you're working outside of the home, for a lot of you, you probably wish that you could stay home. I know that's not for everyone, but for me, that was my desire. That was what I felt God wanted me to do. And so I was doing anything and everything I could think of to just bring in a little extra. And we were still super, super stressed about money. So we got pregnant with Vera, and we really sat down and had a heart to heart and talked through, we need to pray that God will give us some direction on something that I can do from home that will make enough that I can quit all of these other things. I didn't think I could continue keeping kids in my house. So we were thinking something along the lines of like a customer service job or a virtual assistant. I don't know. We were really just like, okay, we need to pray. But honestly, network marketing, direct sales, anything like that, it wasn't really what I thought God would bring up for me to do. But we were so open and we were so desperate and we were praying. So Plexus was randomly presented to me by my friend Jana. She was someone that I looked up to, someone that I trusted, and she had just gotten her Plexus Lexus. So I had heard about Plexus for the whole time that she was doing that before she got her Lexus. But when I saw her with that car, it wasn't about the car, but something about it spoke to me. It was just proof that she was being successful. And again, I looked up to her. She was a very, very close friend of mine, still is. And I knew that if she could do it, then I could probably at least make a little bit of extra money, if not do what she's been able to do, because I knew she was just my friend Jana. She's just a normal person. So if she can do it, I could do it. So she presented it to me at the same time that Zach and I were really praying through our options and what we needed to do. And she sent me an email that had all these videos and testimonies, just like we're talking right now, about how Plexus had changed people's lives and how the products work and how the compensation plan is different than anything out there. And I honestly felt such a peace that Plexus is what I was supposed to do. And I had been approached about it before, but something had changed. And if you've been approached about it before and you said no, that's okay. I said no before too, but my situation had changed. I was in a place of desperation and needed something to change my life. So again, we were broke. We were in a bad way, but we were able to come up with the money for a welcome pack and to join. And my husband, even as broke as we were, said to me, this isn't that huge of an event. Like, we can give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, we'll cut our losses. It won't be a huge deal. So I got started right away and I jumped in with both feet. And I think if you're watching and you think that this is something for you, or you already are signed up, I think that that's important to think about. If you're going to do it, go all in. Like, quit sitting around, just jump in, learn how to work your business and get excited and start sharing with people. That's what I did. And my first month, I made $400. Now that was just making the lowest rank, which is pretty doable to do. And we see a lot of people who are able to do that fairly quickly and easily. So I want to encourage you, just kind of going off on a side trail here. If you've listened to Beth, who's a diamond, and Tiffany, who's a ruby, and Tara, who's an emerald, and I'm an emerald, and you think that would be so hard to do, or I could never get that far. Our lowest rank, me at the lowest rank, I made $400 my first month. That changed my life. $400 for most people, that would change their situation. It wasn't that it was that much money, which for us it was, but it was just the hope of, I have something now that I can work towards, and I can do it while I'm staying home with my kids. And that $400 matched almost to the exact dollar of what I was making doing everything else, keeping the kids in my house. And that was pretty much what I would make a month doing all the extra things. So I quit doing all those things and just really got serious about my Plexus business, and did all this while pregnant and had a 1-year-old. We traveled. My husband went to Africa while I was building my business. I mean, we didn't fit this. We fit this business around our life, our existing life, our ministry, what we had going on. We fit this business all around it. We didn't have to stop our life and make a whole bunch of sacrifices to be able to do this kind of business. This is something that I can do from my phone, and was able to do while I was, going to the grocery store. Before I would get out of the car, I could do a little bit of work or whatever. It was just so easy to fit it in. I remember, fast forward, again, I was pregnant, and then I had Vera that September. I was a gold ambassador, and I was laying in the hospital bed and I had just had her, and I got an email that I'd been paid. And I was like, you know what? This is the craziest thing. I just brought life into the world and I just got paid. I wasn't working my business that day. I was living my life. I mean, I was living my life doing the things that I wanted to do and got paid. It's just crazy how this kind of business works. So that was, I had her, got into the whole, postpartum life of having 2 kids, and my business continued to grow, and we just kept going forward, exploding. And I was able to keep ranking up because of people like Tiffany on my team, and just growing an amazing team and locking arms with amazing people that were already in my life and inviting people to do this with me. And we were able to just keep growing. And then this past July, I promoted to the rank of Emerald, which meant I got to go to Hawaii. So Zach and I, who had never really been anywhere nice ever other than our short little honeymoon cruise that we had, which doesn't even hold a candle to a 5-star Hawaii experience, not how Plexus does it. So we, at our age and our phase of life, got to go on the most incredible vacation I could have ever dreamed of. And all while I got to be a stay-at-home mom and do the things that I love to do. We just bought a new house that every day I wake up and I'm like, I can't believe I get to live here. And that's because of Plexus. And we are just so thankful. It just feels so good to be able to contribute in that way. We've been able to give more to our church this year than we gave probably our whole first 4 years of marriage. I also just got my 1099 and made a lot more than my husband did, and we were just sitting there just laughing and wanting to cry, what is going on? This is insane that we can do this at our age, and also while we're just living our life. One more thing that I want to share. My husband got sick with viral meningitis, the most random thing ever, a couple of months ago, and that whole month that he was in the hospital, I had so many people in Plexus reach out to me and pray for me. And also it was, again, one of the biggest paychecks I've ever gotten. And that month, he was in and out of the hospital the whole time. I'm pregnant. We're taking care of our kids. We bought a house literally all in the same month. But again, we were getting paid and experiencing that residual income that comes with building a business like Plexus. I just want to tell you that having a home business, working Plexus around your life, it is the smartest thing you can ever do, because you don't know what the future holds. You don't know if you're going to get sick and you're going to be out of work, or what kind of hospital bill. I mean, we got huge stack of hospital bills from that experience that we weren't as worried about, and we're able to pay off pretty quickly. And it's just the blessing of Plexus. And God knew that we were going to need Plexus to meet our needs this whole time. So if you're wondering if it's for you, let me just tell you, I have no college degree. I quit college so I could get married and have babies as a baby. And I have no college degree. I don't have any professional training. I'm an introvert. I'm the most awkward person. If you ever want to call and talk to me on the phone and find out, I'm an awkward person. But I can do this business. You can develop, you can grow, you can learn the skills that you need. And whoever invited you on this call can answer your questions, they can address your concerns, they can give you the nitty-gritty, but I'm telling you, it is not a huge investment, it is not a huge risk, and you never know how Plexus could change your life. What if this could change everything? That's our slogan, whatever, for a reason, because it has changed everything for so many of us. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I will just close this out here with thanking you again for getting on here. And again, whoever invited you, let them know that you were here, that you watched, and let them know your questions. If I invited you, or if any of us who spoke invited you, there's no pressure, but we'd love to know what you thought and hear from you. So anyway, that's all I've got. Y'all have an awesome night. We're going to stop our broadcast now.